Hey everybody, hope you all are doing well and welcome back to Michael's Matter. And of course, I am Michael and today we are talking about some updates for those folks who are working or potentially working and taking Social Security benefits at the same time in 2023. This is because unfortunately, with the cost of inflation right now basically affecting everybody, and even with the largest cost of living adjustment or COLA in the last 40 years, folks across the country are still struggling to make sure that their monthly incomes are keeping up with the cost of inflation and their bills. In fact, some older Americans and folks on Social Security benefits programs are actually having to go back to work, which could have some pretty dramatic effects on how much monthly benefit they get from Social Security benefits. Now, as we move into 2023, there are going to be some really important changes to the rules about working and taking SSA benefits. So things like how much income you can actually make before Social Security benefits are affected, or for that matter, how much they're reduced because if you make too much. So today we're going to be talking about how much you can earn while you are working and still claim the full amount of Social Security benefits before they start withholding money from there. Now, this is Michael Matters, and before we get to it, if you like these videos, if you find them interesting, if you find them helpful, if you find them useful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And that way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. All right, now let's get down to it. All right, so let's start with the general overview of what it means to be working and taking Social Security at the same time. Currently, there are millions of seniors and older Americans right now who are receiving Social Security benefits and also supplementing those with work. Because right now, we know that even again, with the largest COLA in the last 40 years coming through for people who are on Social Security programs. So that could be programs like Social Security Disability, Social Security Retirement, SSDI, SSI, as well as VA and Railroad Retirement Benefits. But millions of those Americans who are taking Social Security benefits are just not getting enough money and they're staring down the barrel of those bills at the end of the month. So they start working. But working, especially if you are not in the full retirement age as of 67 years old for folks born after 1964, it could actually mean kind of shooting yourself in the foot. I know it seems counterintuitive, but it kind of is. This is because for Social Security benefits, once you start earning over certain limits, they may actually start reducing your Social Security benefits based on a couple of factors. But also important to note is that these rules are not the same for everybody and can change based on how old you are and also when you are slated to take your full Social Security benefits at your full retirement age. So that is the long and the short of it. That's the gist of it. Now let's take a look at the particulars for 2023 because the numbers, they are going to be going up, which means you can actually begin to earn more money in the coming year than you could this year and still keep the full amount of your Social Security benefits. But like I said before, it does change depending on your age and where you are in relationship to your FRA or your full retirement age. Now, the FRA is when you are eligible to receive your full Social Security benefits. This could be at the age of 65 years old for some folks, all the way up to 67 years old, but it's going to depend on when you were born because they are gradually increasing the full retirement age as people are born later and later. And you can see from the chart here, depending on where you were born, it ends up at 67 years old for those folks who were born after 1960. Now, to keep things simple, if you are above the FRA, then you can work as many hours as you like. There's no reduction of your Social Security benefits for anybody who is at that full retirement age, be it at 65, 66, or 67, and they won't take any money off your Social Security benefits. Boom, done, right? Now, where things get particular is for those folks who are claiming Social Security benefits, but they are under their full retirement age. And there are two camps for this. The first is for those folks who are under their full retirement age, the FRA, but they are not within the year which they're going to be turning FRA. So they're not 66 years old about to turn 67, but rather they are under 66, 65, 64, 63, 62, etc. And then there are also those folks who are under the FRA, but they are within that year in which they will be turning their FRA. So they are 66 years old and some months, and within this next year, their next birthday is going to be FRA time, woo, and they can work as much as they like. All right, let's start with those folks who are under the FRA, but still working and not in the last year before they become FRA. So these folks in 2023 can actually earn up to $21,240 a year, which is up 8.59% from 2022. So you can earn a little bit more money. Now, to break that down to a monthly rate, that is $1,680 a month that they can earn before their Social Security benefits are affected. So any money that is earned from work over $1,680 a month will start to get held back from that person's Social Security check. And in fact, it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So for every $2 that is made over $1,680 a month, then one of those dollars is going to be taken off from their Social Security benefit, which is it's pretty painful if you think about it. Now, the second situation is for a person who is in the year that they are going to become eligible for the FRA. So they are 66 years old and about to be 67 eventually. And in this situation, just for this year, that one single year where they will be turning the FRA, the income earning limit goes up a lot before the Social Security benefits start to get taken away. In fact, it goes all the way up to $56,520 a year that can be earned. Then again, for just that year, any income earned over that amount will be reduced $1 from their Social Security benefit for every $3 that are earned over that $56,520 a year. Meaning that for every $3 earned over that limit, they will get offset by $1. So it's still pretty painful, but is not as bad as for those folks who are working and going over their earnings limits, but under the FRA in totality. All right, so that's a little jumble, right? There's lots of things going on there. Let's talk about an example, 2 specific examples of each. All right, so we have a gentleman, we'll call him Ben, and he's retiring at 62 years old in February of 2023. Now, the estimated average Social Security check for 2023 is estimated to be at $1,827. But since he is retiring early at 62, he's going to lose about 30%. He's going to take a 30% hit off of that. So just for the ease of calculation, we're going to take off 30%, which is $548 off that $1,827, which means that Ben will be getting $1,279 a month from his Social Security benefit. Or if we expand that out to yearly, that's $15,347 a year. Now, remember the earning limits from Social Security for 2023 for a person who is not in their FRA, so he's not in the year in which he's going to be turning 67, is capped at $21,240 worth of earnings. Just remember that. So Ben, at the moment, is working 35 hours here at his job in LA that pays a minimum wage of $15.50. And yes, that is the minimum wage here in LA. So that means that roughly he's going to earn around $2,170 a month, or yearly $26,040. So if his earning limits is at $21,240, it means that he is going to be earning $4,800 over the limit for the year. So with that extra $4,800 over the limit, Social Security will reduce his Social Security benefits check by $1 for every $2 over the limit. So essentially 50%. So yearly, that means they're going to take off $2,400 from his Social Security benefits, or monthly, $200 come off his Social Security check. So if his yearly Social Security benefits are at $15,347, they're going to go down by $2,400, which means that his yearly Social Security benefit check is $12,947 a year, or monthly $1,079. But he will still have his yearly income of $26,040 to help him survive. And when we add those two things together, the Social Security benefits, even with the reduction, as well as his working income, comes out to $38,987 worth of income for that year. And essentially, this is going to be at the price of giving Social Security, or letting Social Security take $2,400 for the ability to earn that $26,040. So basically, he's paying a 10% penalty for the ability to work. So for sure, that is going to sting a little bit, but the realism is that extra work is probably needed by Ben or a lot of folks out there, and it's really the only way they're going to make ends meet, because you just can't survive off Social Security, especially in an expensive city like here in LA. Now, if we look at a similar example of Ben again, but let's say he is in the year in which he will turn the FRA. So he is 66 and he's going to eventually be turning 67. At this point, the limits really, again, start to jump up, which means he can make a lot more money before he is penalized. So let's look at an example of this one. So Ben, in this case, is turning FRA, or 67 years old, within this year. And now he is still working, but he's working full-time, 40 hours a week, and he's earning $30 an hour. So he's got a pretty good job. He's still getting the same Social Security benefit check as previously, so that $1,279 a month, or $15,347 a year. But now, again, he's making more money. So with that larger hourly income, Ben is going to be making $4,800 a month or $57,600 in earnings a year. But he's not going to get hit as bad as in the previous example for this one. One, because he's in the year of his FRA. And two, because for the earning limits over the limit, the reduction is now only 3-to-1. So the ratio is 3-to-1 rather than 2-to-1. And so instead of having to give half of his earnings that are over the limit back to Social Security or taken off his Social Security check, now he only has to give 1/3. So that means that in this case, only $360 yearly or $30 a month will be taken off his Social Security check. So when all that is said and done, it brings the yearly Social Security benefit down to $14,987 a year, but with the additional earnings of $57,600 annually. So his total yearly income comes out to $72,587 for the year, while only having to give up $360, basically shaved off his Social Security benefits, for the ability to continue to earn and work and make the additional money, which is a huge difference from the situation that we had with the previous Ben in the previous example, where he would have lost heaps of money in that case. So I guess when I look at it, there is good reason that the Social Security benefits program is set up this way, right? I mean, it's already struggling enough as it is, and it doesn't really make sense to allow people to essentially double dip and destabilize the program any faster than it's already doing on its own. But on the inverse side, and unfairly, the program, even with increases like the COLA and other changes, are not keeping up with the rising cost of inflation, the cost of rent, the cost of food, the cost of gas, and all the other things that people face on a day-to-day and month-to-month basis. But my hope is that by doing these kind of videos and helping folks to understand at least this one aspect of Social Security, it'll help those folks out there who are trying to decide whether they want to work and take Social Security and understand the benefits and the consequences, so they can make an educated decision about what fits their personal situation best. Now, that's it for today, and I hope that you found this video interesting or helpful or at least useful. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. So for Michael's Matters, I'm Michael, hoping that you take care of yourself, take care of others, and have a happy, healthy